Tony Ferguson is arrested? Well, yeah, you guys heard that right. The 39-year-old mixed martial artist has recently been arrested for DUI while cruising in Hollywood. According to the reports, he crashed into 4 parked cars and flipped his truck over as he was trying to do Tony's famous Imanari roll. But fortunately, he was released later on, so fight fans can rest easy. Aunt May hates Tony. Talk about being at odds with Aunt May. As the arrest took place on May 7th, 2023, and exactly a year ago, around the same date, Tony found himself at the receiving end of Michael Chandler's iconic front kick KO. More on that in this same month. He also saw his 12-fight winning streak come to an end against Justin Gaethje in 2020. Things haven't been the same for this UFC veteran ever since. And what do all these 3 things have in common? The month of May, as it has time and again proved to be the worst one for Mr. Ferguson. Tony hasn't really stepped inside the cage since losing to Nate Diaz last year, and his recent skid might make him seem like a fighter who's past his prime. But wait, things weren't always like this. No. Hardcore MMA enthusiasts will recall what Mr. El Cucuy truly personified before this wild fall from grace. An impressive UFC run. He saw the start of his career by training under the supervision of Brock Lesnar in Tough 13, and he went on to win the whole thing by dismantling the competition. In his UFC run, he proved himself to be the most dominant force at 155 pounds and even became its champion. He's the only fighter on the roster who dared to use Wing Chun techniques inside the cage and even adopted the style of sand ninjas.
There you go, give me sand. Hold on, come on.
It won't be too harsh to presume that Tony's time might be over, but the legendary run saw him beating the likes of Donald Cerrone, Kevin Lee, Anthony Pettis, Rafael Dos Anjos, Edson Barbosa, Josh Thompson, and more. If there was anyone at 155 pounds who could give Khabib a tough time inside the cage in his prime, it was definitely this guy. But unfortunately, the fight never came to being despite being booked 5 times. Khabib retired on top in 2020, but since that year, Tony kept collecting losses. It's uncertain where Tony's career is headed next, but the amazing memories of his epic fights will forever live on in the annals of the UFC.